Welcome to the Gym Success Podcast. We're really thrilled to have all our listeners with us today. Gym owners, operators, managers, salespeople, gym entrepreneurs, and of course, personal trainers. I'm Bonnie.
And I'm George.
And we're here today to walk you through a really insightful white paper by Jim Thomas. It's called Optimizing Your Gym Business for Resilience. Our goal really is to take this great resource and, pull out the actionable insights that can help your gym not just survive whatever comes next, but actually thrive through it.
That's exactly right. And Jim Thomas, he doesn't waste any time in this paper. He basically says, look, in the fitness industry today, disruption, it's not an if, it's a when. It's guaranteed. We've all seen it, right? Pandemics, economic instability, member expectations constantly shifting, costs going up. And his big point is that what used to work, just pure hustle, that's just not cutting it anymore.
Right, and that's where he introduces this core idea, resilience. He argues it's become like the single most critical trait for any gym business now. And it's not just about, gritting your teeth and getting through the tough times. It's more than that.
Yeah, and I love how he breaks down resilience. It's not just survival.
Yeah.
He defines it as this mix of sustainability, adaptability, and ultimately long-term success. Think about it like your business being flexible enough to bend but not break, to evolve, change with the times, but without losing who you are. And crucially, being ready for whatever's next. Not just the predictable stuff, but, well, anything.
Exactly. And this white paper, honestly, it feels like a playbook, a real strategic guide for building that kind of strong, resilient gym. So we're going to get into how you can actually use these ideas starting right at the foundation of your business model.
Okay, let's do that. Strengthening the foundation. So Jim Thomas kicks off with a pretty bold statement. A one-dimensional gym is a fragile gym. Makes sense, right? Like a table with just one leg, super easy to tip over. He argues that resilient businesses need multiple income streams, diverse sources.
Yeah, and he gives such practical examples, too. Things you can actually implement, like expanding your group training. Think boot camps, maybe semi-private PT or specialized classes. Nutrition coaching is another big one he points out. Virtual or in-person doesn't matter. Huge potential there.
He's also big on hybrid models, giving members digital access alongside the in-person stuff, workouts, programs, even virtual check-ins.
Yeah.
And corporate wellness, partnering with local businesses. That can open up a whole new channel. Oh, and retail, obviously. Selling your own branded gear, supplements, it just fits, right?
Totally. And he even mentions, using your space differently, maybe leasing some of it out to massage therapists, physios, maybe even other independent trainers. And then there's the whole on-demand content idea, building a library of workouts, running subscription challenges online. Lots of options.
It really all comes back to his main point there. The more legs your business stands on, the harder it is to knock over. That's a clear visual, isn't it?
It really is. Simple but powerful. Okay, so building on that diversity, the next big piece for a strong foundation is recurring revenue. Jim Thomas puts it pretty bluntly. Sporadic income is a liability. He says predictable recurring revenue is, well, it's the lifeblood of a resilient gym. It's essential.
Yeah, that's a huge takeaway. And for getting that predictable income, he points to the obvious, like auto-debit memberships. It's kind of standard, right?
Yeah.
But also thinking about subscription packages, maybe for personal training blocks or group training access. And online training subscriptions, definitely. Recurring nutrition plans, too. Basically, anything that smooths out that income curve.
And the benefit for you, the owner listening, is just massive. I mean, your cash flow improves dramatically. Forecasting becomes, well, actually possible. And it seriously reduces that month-to-month stress, especially in slower periods. You shift from constantly chasing the next sale to focusing more on the members you have, which, ironically, helps keep them longer anyway.
Right. Better experience equals better retention. Okay, so foundation's getting stronger. Next up, Jim Thomas says you need operational efficiency. Building a lean, agile business. And where did that start? Knowing your numbers? Cold. His line is, informed decisions are resilient decisions. Can't argue with that.
And we're not just talking about looking at your P&L once a month, are we? What are those specific metrics he really hammers home, the ones owners need to know?
Oh, he gets specific. You absolutely have to know your break-even point monthly and annually. What's your revenue per member? Super important. Your churn rate and conversely, your retention rate. Those tell a massive story. Cost per acquisition for new members, obviously. And this is key. He says, understand your conversion rates at every single step of your sales process, not just the final close rate.
Right, because knowing where people drop off is crucial.
Yeah.
And those numbers aren't isolated, are they? Like your churn impacts revenue per member, which affects break even, It's all connected. He has that great analogy. If you don't know where the leaks are, you can't plug them when the storm hits. It's all about being proactive, finding problems before they become disasters.
Exactly, which flows right into the next point. Streamlining costs, but smartly, without sacrificing the value you deliver. His philosophy is great here. Being lean doesn't mean being cheap. It means being smart. Big difference.
Okay, so if the goal is being smart, not cheap, what are some actionable steps he suggests for owners to, trim the fat effectively? He recommends doing quarterly expense audits, like really digging into every single outgoing cost, renegotiating contracts regularly. Think rent, software deals, even suppliers. Another smart tip. Cross-train your staff. It makes you less reliant on needing lots of part-timers for specific roles. And obviously, get rid of any tools or software subscriptions you're paying for but not actually using anymore. Cut the waste, he says, not the capability.
Cut waste, not capability. I like that. It keeps the focus on delivering value, not just slashing costs blindly. Okay, so following that, he really pushes the idea of systems. Build systems, not just temporary workarounds. His imperative is systematize everything. Sounds intense, but probably necessary.
Well, yeah, but he gives concrete examples, like systematize how you handle new leads and follow up, systematize class setup and breakdown, cleaning schedules, put them in a system, sales scripts, service protocols for handling common issues, even member onboarding and how you handle exit surveys when someone leaves. It can all be systematized.
And the benefit, the big payoff for doing all that work up front is consistency, right? It reduces the day-to-day chaos, makes it easier to scale up or navigate tough transitions if you have documented ways of doing things. It's like building a well-oiled machine.
Exactly. And speaking of machines, technology, Jim Thomas moves into digital readiness, basically future-proofing your member experience. He's very direct about this. Today's fitness consumer just expects flexibility. So hybrid offerings, they're not optional anymore. They're essential.
Okay, hybrid fitness model. What does that actually look like in practice? According to his paper, what are the options?
He talks about blending things seamlessly. So, yeah, you have your in-person classes and training, but you also offer, say, on-demand workouts members can access anytime. Maybe virtual assessments or coaching calls, live streaming classes for those who can't make it in. You can even bundle some basic at-home gear with specific programming. It all leads back to this really powerful insight he shares. Physical location is a feature. Your product is transformation. Whoa.
Wow, yeah. That really shifts your thinking, doesn't it? Your value isn't the building, it's the results you help people get.
Precisely. And to make all that hybrid stuff work smoothly, you need the right tech. Jim Thomas stresses investing strategically in technology. His view is that software should, empower your team and members. It shouldn't be a burden or another complex thing to manage.
Makes sense. So what kind of tech tools does he prioritize? What should gyms be looking at?
Okay, he highlights things like instant lead follow-up tools, crucial for capturing interest, marketing automation to nurture leads and engage members, ways to track member engagement, see who's using what, who might be slipping away, and of course, simple integrated scheduling and billing is a must. Ideally, having it all work together in a good CRM, customer relationship management system and communication platform.
Right. The goal being automate the routine stuff, the repetitive tasks, so your people, your team can focus on the human interactions, the coaching, the support, the community building. That's where the real magic happens.
Couldn't agree more. Which brings us neatly into the human side of resilience, leadership, culture, and communication. Jim Thomas makes a really strong case that your gym's culture, it's not just fluff. It's actually your safety net when things get difficult.
Okay, so what does that kind of stress-resistant, adaptable culture actually look like? What are its characteristics, according to him?
He says it's a culture that values transparency, first off. Even when the news is bad, everyone needs to be held accountable, right up to the owner. No exceptions. Every major decision should clearly tie back to the gym's mission and values. And it needs to be a place where open dialogue is encouraged, where the team feels a sense of shared ownership.
That sounds like a culture that would definitely build loyalty, both from staff and members, makes people want to stick around.
Absolutely. And building on that culture, he talks about the team itself. He makes this sharp distinction. Skills-based teams are fragile. Resilient teams are cross-functional, resourceful, and confident.
Yeah.
So it's about intentionally training your team for adaptability, not just teaching them how to coach a squad or use the software.
Okay, that's interesting. Train for adaptability. What are his specific recommendations for building that kind of team? How do you do it?
Well, train beyond just the fitness skills, obviously. Include things like sales training, communication skills, maybe even basic time management or conflict resolution. And crisis planning. Super important. Always share the why behind decisions. Give your team context. It helps get buy-in. And he actually suggests role-playing unexpected scenarios. Like, okay, team, what do we do if the power goes out mid-class? Or if we have a sudden short-term closure? Practicing builds confidence for when, stuff inevitably happens.
Yeah, preparation is key. And the final piece of this human element puzzle, according to the paper, is member communication, being proactive. His core belief here seems to be silence creates uncertainty. Transparency builds trust, which feels very true, especially during stressful times.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He urges owners, use all your channels, email, video updates, text, social media, whatever works for your members. Keep them informed, keep them reassured. Be visible, be consistent, show empathy. Always reinforce that you're committed to helping them reach their goals. And crucially, use a crisis as a chance to lead. Step up, be present, communicate clearly, don't hide.
Such important advice. Okay, that leads us into another critical area, cash flow resilience.
Right.
Building that financial cushion and maintaining flexibility. JtHomas gives some really specific, crucial advice here. He says, aim for a cash reserve, enough to cover, ideally, 3 to 6 months of your fixed operating expenses.
Yeah, 3 to 6 months, which, let's be honest, can sound daunting, right? Especially if you're just starting out or cash flow is tight. So he's also practical. He says, look, if that feels impossible right now, start smaller. Aim for 1 month's worth first. Then commit to saving a certain percentage of revenue every single month until you build up that bigger cushion.
And he stresses treating that savings deposit like payroll. It's non-negotiable. That framing really hits home, doesn't it? It's not optional if things go well money. It's fundamental.
Exactly. It's foundational. And beyond just having the cash reserve, he talks about flexible funding options. The key thing here is explore these before you're in a desperate situation.
Right. Get your ducks in a row ahead of time. So what specific funding options does he suggest gym owners look into having available?
He lists things like a business line of credit, short-term loans, equipment financing if you need gear, even options like revenue-based lending or invoice factoring, which might be less common but can provide quick cash in certain situations. His warning is really stark. Pre-approval is protection. When disaster hits, you don't want to wait weeks for financing. You need access now.
That's very smart planning. Prepare for the storm before it hits. And he also adds a word of caution about growth, doesn't he? About not over-leveraging.
Yes, absolutely. Grow responsibly. He specifically advises against funding big expansions purely out of current cash flow if your profit margins are already thin. That's risky. Instead, try to tie big investments like new hires, expensive equipment, or signing a bigger lease directly to hitting certain performance metrics. Prove the need first. And always, always forecast the potential downside. Ask, what if this doesn't go as planned, before you jump into the exciting upside.
Really sound financial discipline there. Okay, moving towards the end, but this is a big one. Resilient marketing. How to stay visible and relevant, especially when times are tough. JtHomas starts this section with a powerful idea. Build a brand, not just a facility. What does he mean by that?
Well, he explains it beautifully. A facility is a location, a brand is a feeling. It's that emotional connection, that sense of belonging, that identity. That's what keeps members loyal. Even if another gym opens up closer or maybe cheaper or with newer equipment, it's the brand, the feeling they're loyal to. It's about building that emotional equity.
Okay, so how do you actually build that brand, that feeling? What are the steps he outlines?
He says, tell stories. Compelling stories of member transformations, the real human impact. Highlight your people, your amazing staff, your inspiring members. Put faces to the brand. Maintain a really clear, consistent message and visual style across everything you do, your website, your social media, the gym itself. And fundamentally, deliver consistently on your promises. Then look for ways to surprise and delight, to exceed expectations. That's how you build love for the brand. And then comes maybe the most counterintuitive piece of marketing advice, especially for tough times. He says, don't go quiet when things get tough. His argument is that your marketing shouldn't pause during a downturn. If anything, it should potentially increase strategically.
Wow, okay. That definitely goes against the instinct to pull back and save money when things are uncertain. So if you're not pausing, what kind of low-cost marketing does he suggest for those leaner times?
Smart stuff. He says lean heavily on social proof. Share those before and after photos, get video testimonials, showcase member successes. That's powerful and often low cost. Run simple, effective campaigns like referral contests. Reward your current members for bringing in new ones, or even small thank you gifts for your most loyal members to show appreciation. Form local partnerships. Maybe do email swaps with complementary businesses, like a local health food store or a chiropractor. And shift your messaging focus. Promote the outcomes, the results, the transformations you deliver, not just the features like we have 10 treadmills. Focus on the benefit.
That makes a lot of sense. Focus on value and results. And he wraps up marketing with a really strong statement. Visibility, viability. Don't let silence sabotage your momentum. Powerful reminder.
It really is. And that leads us to his final overall message, the big picture takeaway from the whole white paper. Building a resilient gym. It's not a project you finish. It's not a checklist. It's an ongoing mindset. It's a disciplined way of operating day in and day out.
Yeah, he paints a really clear picture of what these resilient gyms look like, doesn't he? They're not just waiting around for bad things to happen. They operate with discipline, yes, but also with agility and, importantly, with heart. They're constantly investing in their people and refining their processes and in exploring future possibilities.
And maybe the most encouraging part is his final thought. Resilience compounds. Like building muscle, right? Every challenge you overcome, every win you secure, makes you stronger and more capable of facing whatever comes next. It builds on itself.
That's a fantastic way to think about it, an ongoing journey of building strength. Now, if you listening feel like you want some personalized guidance, some help putting these resilience principles into action for your own gym, Jim Thomas and his team at Fitness Management and Consulting, they are absolutely ready to help you navigate this.
Yeah, you can reach out to Jim directly to talk about your specific situation, your challenges, your goals. His direct phone number is 214-629-7223. Again, that's 214-629-7223. Or you can shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
Let me repeat that email, jthomas@fmconsulting.net. They are fitness management and consulting, and their motto says it all. Your success is our business.
We really hope this exploration of Jim Thomas's white paper has given you some solid, practical ideas, things you can actually use to make your gym stronger, more adaptable, truly unbreakable.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us today on the Gym Success Podcast.